Welcome to Waltz and Wire. Today we're talking about Akmal Saleh's response to the allegations of betrayal.
And it really is an intense one.
It is. I mean, for you listening, this isn't just some political gossip. We're looking at a huge, high-stakes showdown here. You've got a major current political figure, the United Malays National Organization youth chief, going up against a former prime minister.
Towering figure at that. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad.
Exactly. And this whole thing is forcing a conversation about the very soul of the United Malays National Organization itself.
Right. And I think it's important to understand right from the start just how serious this central charge is.
Yeah.
This isn't a simple disagreement over policy or economics. The accusation being thrown at the party is, well, it's pretty much the most severe label you can use in our politics. A traitor to the Malay race.
That's a heavy, heavy term.
It is. It's not just criticism. It's a complete rejection of what the party has stood for or claimed to stand for since it was founded.
Absolutely. And when the former prime minister is the one saying it, it changes the whole landscape. He's basically asserting that the party has completely abandoned its original purpose.
He's saying it's lost its way.
Totally. That it strayed so far from its path of championing the race, religion, and the country. When that comes from a guy who was synonymous with the party's power for decades, it creates a real crisis for them.
It creates a huge vacuum of trust. And his allegations, they weren't just abstract ideas. He got into very specific political territory.
He did.
He claimed that the party is now prioritizing personal interests over the good of the nation.
Which is a claim that always hits hard with the public, doesn't it?
Of course. It speaks directly to that feeling a lot of people have, that cynicism about whether people in power are really there for them or just for themselves.
That idea of self-enrichment at everyone else's expense, it's a powerful accusation.
A very powerful one.
But then he took it even a step further. He said the party is selling out the future of the nation.
And that phrase, that implies damage that can't be undone, permanent damage.
It suggests they're trading long-term national security, our sovereignty, for some kind of short-term gain.
And if you dig a little deeper into that, you get to the really controversial part about foreign influence.
The United States.
Yes. The former prime minister specifically brought up this allegation that the party is backing agreements that, in his view, put Malaysia under the political influence of the U.S.
Okay, and regardless of the facts of that claim, just making the accusation is a strategic move.
Oh, it's incredibly strategic.
Yeah.
It taps into this deep-seated national pride, this historical sensitivity we have about our sovereignty and staying non-aligned.
Right.
So to accuse a party that's supposed to be protecting the nation of selling out its independence to a Western superpower,
right,
that's a direct shot at their patriotism.
So if you put it all together, his message is pretty clear. The party isn't doing its job anymore. Not for the race, not for the religion, not for the country. It's a total narrative of abandonment.
It is.
So you have to wonder, when we look at the political climate right now, how much do these claims actually resonate with people?
I think they're highly effective because they seem to come from a place of authority, from someone who is on the inside.
So people might think, if he believes the party's rotten, why should we trust it?
Exactly. It puts all the pressure on the current leadership to prove him wrong. But the response from the United Malays National Organization youth chief was, well, it wasn't passive.
Not at all. His rebuttal was instant. He was sharp, did it on social media.
Making it clear he wasn't going to show any deference to the former leader's status or his age.
No deference at all. It felt like a calculated counterattack. Akmal Saleh he flipped the whole thing around. He didn't just deny it. He threw the charge of betrayal right back. He said that the former prime minister was the one who betrayed the party and that he did it a long time ago.
And that's a profound move. You have the younger generation of the party essentially passing judgment on the legacy of the older generation.
And the way he did it was fascinating.
The rhetorical strategy was really something. He used a famous phrase that was actually coined by the very man he was attacking.
The former prime minister's own line, Malays are easily forgetful.
Yes, and he turned it back on him, suggesting that, maybe it's Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad himself who has forgotten his own history, his own actions.
That's such a powerful political move. It reframes the entire argument. It's basically saying the accuser has amnesia about his own past.
It's a real statement of confidence. It shows the current leadership is willing to fight back using the old guard's own weapons.
And then the sign-off. The final word from the United Malays National Organization youth chief. Just a simple, blunt instruction for the former prime minister to rest.
That one word, rest, it carries so much political weight, doesn't it?
It's so dismissive.
It's not a polite suggestion. It's a public demand for him to retire from politics. It's a signal that the younger generation feels his time is up, that his input is, well, no longer welcome.
The chapter is closed, basically. The party is moving on.
That's the message. And it tells you a lot about the power shifts happening right now.
Okay, so let's connect this to the wider implications, because they're massive. This fight out in the open between a current party leader and a former one, it just fractures the whole narrative of Malay political unity.
It completely shatters it. It forces everyone, not just party members, but the whole country, to sort of pick a side.
A battle over who's the true champion of the nation.
And that specific word, betrayal, is so powerful because it hits the party right where it lives. Their entire identity for decades was built on being the guardian of the Malay community.
The indispensable protector.
Right. So when their own former leader accuses them of betrayal, it shakes the faith of their core supporters. It makes them ask, if they've betrayed us, then who is protecting our interests?
And that uncertainty, that instability, it trickles down to affect everyday people.
Of course it does.
The public is stuck in the middle, trying to figure out who's telling the truth, who's really loyal, and who's just in it for themselves. And this isn't some abstract debate. People are watching these leaders when they decide how to vote, or even just what to think about a government program.
Sure.
You know, when a budget comes out that might affect your family by a few hundred ringgit, and you see the leaders being called traitors, how can you trust that any of it is being done for your benefit?
You can't. That's the problem. The trust in the leadership, it just erodes, and that erosion affects every level of government.
So this fight becomes less about the two men involved.
And more about the trustworthiness of the entire political system they represent. It encourages this deep skepticism.
So what's the end game here? If the current leadership manages to push past this, does it just solidify a new generation in power?
It could. But if the former prime minister's claims start to stick, if they gain more traction with the public, it could lead to, well, serious voter alienation. People might start looking for new leaders outside the whole established system.
It's just fascinating to watch the clash between historical influence and current power. The former prime minister has the weight of history, but the United Malay's National Organization youth chief has the actual political machinery right now.
And this whole battle is a test of which one wins out. It really is restructuring the entire national conversation.
So it leaves a huge question for everyone to think about.
I think so. It's something to consider long after we're done here. When you see political giants throwing around these huge accusations, selling out the nation, betrayal, does it actually make the average citizen's faith in the political system stronger? Or does it just weaken it?
That really is the core tension, isn't it? This battle for the party's soul is tied directly to the battle for the public's trust.
Indeed. It's a reminder that these political fights are always fundamentally about defining loyalty, and that definition has real consequences for everyone.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.